Instructor Verrill of the Zenta Dominion Military Academy had trained over 500 elite cadets from dozens of systems, broken 1,000 egos, and silenced more rebellions than the stars had numbers. Yet nothing in his rigid, calculated history had prepared him for the human girl in classroom D9. The girl, Cadet Elena Reyes, sat silently among 30 other beings, her demeanor unreadable, her muscles relaxed but alert like a coiled predator in hibernation. Her records were flagged with more warnings and permissions: Deathworld, origin, combat trained since juvenile phase, observed with caution, and most ominously, psych evaluation inconclusive. But Verrill, who had once gone 3 rounds with Vorkan blood monk in 1, scoffed at bureaucratic paranoia. The lesson was simple: interspecies hand-to-hand tactics, non-lethal maneuvers, controlled sparring. Except Reyes didn't move during the first drill. She simply stood there, letting her opponent, a towering Drixen male, circle her like a shark sensing blood. The class waited. Verrill waited. Then he barked, "Reyes, engage!" But she didn't, not even a flinch. He took that as insubordination, a chance to make an example. He crossed the mat in 4 strides, towering over the much smaller girl, mandibles flaring with irritation. When an officer gives an order, human, you obey. She met his compound eyes with a look so calm it was unsettling. "No threat detected," she said plainly. That stoked the flame. "This is a simulation." "You will act when commanded," he roared. And then he did the unthinkable. He struck her. Not with full force, but enough. His armored forelimb cracked across her cheek, expecting her to stumble, to submit, perhaps even cry like the soft-world species often did. 30 seconds later, Instructor Verrill was unconscious, twitching on the ground, limbs shattered, breathing shallow, mandibles bent inward, and his exoskeletal armor caved in at 3 separate points. The class stood frozen in silence. Only one student moved, Reyes, who calmly crouched beside the collapsed instructor, checked his pulse, and spoke coldly into the air. "Instructor's alive, but critical. Immediate medical attention advised." The classroom emergency beacon lit up as medbots raced in. No one spoke for several more moments until the Averon cadet nearest the incident muttered, "What the void just happened?" Another whispered, "She didn't even move until after he hit her." The slow realization spread across the group like radiation. There had been no warm-up, no change in her expression, no escalation. Just contact and then destruction. The footage confirmed it. Upon review, the Academy Board watched the surveillance in frame-by-frame awe. As Verrill's strike landed, Rhea's eyes changed, iris dilation, micromuscle tension, and in a fluid motion that seemed more instinct than decision, she spun inward, redirected his limb with terrifying precision, shattered a major joint, and struck 6 vital points in under 2 seconds. The entire takedown took less time than a blink. "I thought humans were unstable," one board member said. Another corrected, "They're not unstable. They're dormant until provoked." Verrill survived, though barely. He was sedated for 5 days, underwent cellular reconstruction, and when conscious again, he refused to speak about what happened, only staring into space with a haunted gaze. The Academy launched an investigation, but Reyes was cleared on all grounds. The strike from Verrill was unauthorized and illegal under Dominion regulations. Even in training, she had responded with what the human file called measured restraint. Measured restraint? The man nearly died. But Earth's ambassador calmly explained, had she not restrained herself, there would have been nothing left of your instructor. Nothing. The board didn't argue. Instead, new protocols were quietly implemented. Human cadets would now train under human instructors. No exceptions. Rumors spread like wildfire, first across the academy, then throughout military sectors, then across systems. The story warped into legend. She dropped him with a thought. He touched her, and his organs shut down. She whispered something, and his bones liquefied. Each version more ridiculous than the last, but no one dared test the truth. Back on Earth, Elena's report was read by a black-suited figure deep inside a facility that didn't exist on any map. The man read the line, "Cadet Reyes neutralized threat using biomechanical instinctive defense. No anomalies detected." He nodded. She's adapting faster than projected. The figure closed the file. Deploy her to combat school theta next cycle. Meanwhile, at the academy, the students who had witnessed the incident avoided her path like she was a black hole. Even those who were naturally aggressive, the Rolkins, the Haraker, even the Slint who boasted exotails lined with venom, couldn't meet her eyes. Elena didn't speak much. She didn't threaten. She didn't boast. But something in the atmosphere changed when she entered a room. Her silence screamed louder than any roar. She'd been raised on a Deathworld. After all, Earth, third planet from Sol, colloquially known as the Crucible. A world of ice storms, tectonic fury, microbial nightmares, apex predators, and gravity that tested bones like they were forged metal. A world where evolution had stopped asking for permission, where danger wasn't a possibility. It was a default. Vero had forgotten that. Many would. The galaxy had a bad habit of underestimating humanity. They still saw them as new arrivals, strange bipedal creatures with reckless curiosity and emotional volatility. But Earth didn't make weaklings. It made weapons with skin and smiles. Reyes was just one of many. Later that semester, an inter-academy war game simulation was held. 5 alien academies participated. Reyes' unit was underestimated. One by one, enemy squads were picked off. No kills, only captures, Reyes' order. And each time they cornered her, she slipped through like vapor, disabling entire platoons without a scratch. The instructors reviewing her strategies couldn't understand her logic. Why didn't she eliminate them when she had the chance? Asked a Yithri tactician. The answer was simple. She didn't have to. She was sending a message. When the final tally came, her unit had a perfect score. All objectives achieved, 0 casualties, minimal damage. The humans didn't celebrate. They didn't need to. The galaxy was beginning to understand. The incident with Vero had been a whisper. Her performance in the war games was a scream. New instructors were briefed. Never strike first. Never provoke. Never assume compliance means weakness. Because humans don't react the way others do. They don't escalate. They conclude. 30 seconds. That's all it took for a legend to be born. And somewhere on Earth, deep beneath the crust in a bunker with no name, a group of men and women watched the stars and smiled. One whispered, "She's ready." Another asked, "You think the galaxy is?" The answer came cold and quiet. "No, but it's going to learn, one incident at a time."